Well, welcome to this life facilitation training video. I'm just going to be walking you through some of the ideas that I've been thinking about. You may have been in a session with me before on this, but today I want to look at the art of facilitation and the role, specifically the role of a life facilitator. So I've actually chosen you to be part of the live series because I think that you're warm and you're friendly and you're outgoing and you've got the ability to make people feel comfortable. Uh, just a few things, and I could have gone through a whole list of things, but I chose just to look at 5 areas of things that you should do as a life facilitator. So, number one, you want to lead, but you don't want to dominate. Okay. Um, Now, leading is not necessarily um, showing people every door, every angle of things that they should be looking at. It's merely just being a tour guide, if you like, as we work through the material. You do want to know the topic of the evening. You want to have a good understanding of what we're going to be speaking about. You don't necessarily need to know everything, but it is helpful if you've read through the life booklet. You'll see that there's some appendix there that you can read through, some little stories and stuff. So you want to have a good idea of where we're headed. You do want to create a safe space for the people sitting at your table. And I say that you give people time. And what I mean there is, in the first few weeks, especially, you want people to feel comfortable. It's going to take a little bit of time. You want to make sure that they're warm enough or cool enough if it's a hot day, that they're comfortable physically. If they're old, maybe they need a cushion to sit on. Maybe there's a light shining in their eye or something like that, and they're too embarrassed to say. But also that they know where the facilities are, that they can feel like they can get up and grab a coffee or something to eat. So yeah, just give people time to find their space. Some people just are really naturally quite comfortable. Other people are quite introvert, and it takes a little bit longer, especially those that are visitors. Yeah, just work hard at giving them a safe space. Allow for any questions. It's not about being right or wrong. And that also goes for answers to any questions. You know, when you're discussing things, you're going to ask a question. And there's no dumb answer to that question. It's just what somebody's experienced or what they feel. So we want to really remain quite neutral in terms of what's right and what's wrong. You want to probe people gently. You know, you do get individuals that are quiet. And if that happens for the first week or two, it's likely that they stay quiet for the rest of the life series. So you really do want to probe people gently, especially those that are quiet and aren't so forthcoming with what they think. You can really gently help people just speak or just think through a certain topic. So a key ability here is to remember to use people's names. Remember and use people's names, rather. Now, it sounds so obvious, but it really does make such a difference when you know somebody's name, you use it. It also helps those around your table because they can also remember that person's name and use it. And that's a great way to make people feel relaxed and comfortable. So that's just 5 things that you should do. Let's have a look now at 5 things that you should not do. Don't be too vocal about any topic. That goes in the idea of being so knowledgeable that what anyone else says will pale into insignificance. So while you do know about that topic, you don't need to show your table that you know about it. Do not create the idea that you're the guru. That kind of works with that as well. That you've got all the answers, and even if you do, rather let everybody have their say, and there be a time. Look, remember this: the talk is the thing that corrects people and corrects their thinking if it's incorrect. So you don't need to. Again, you need to remain neutral. you shouldn't give the correct Christian answer. There might be people at your table that will do so. You don't have to agree or disagree with them. But we're not looking for the correct Christian answer here. We actually want to pull out of people what they think and why. And actually, as they do that, they often see their own holes in what they believe. Again, don't agree or disagree with people. That's just part of not giving the correct answer. But you just want to remain neutral and kind to everybody. Don't allow one person to dominate the group. You're always going to get this. You're always going to get somebody that's a bit louder and has more to say than anybody else. And while you don't want to shut them down, you do want to have a balanced approach. So you want to allow them to speak. Maybe they'll be the first one to speak. Maybe try reversing the way around, and maybe by week 4 you might need to say, okay, I'd like somebody else to answer other than whoever it is that always answers. That way that person doesn't dominate the group. A key ability here is to keep the conversations flowing. Naturally, keep them on track. You don't want people to kind of go off down little tangents. They might, but it's your job to just bring them back gently. So what is the goal of a life facilitator, or the desired outcome? Well, we want to create a group dynamic that is warm and inviting, it's friendly, it's kind to one another. And we want to help people think through the topic of the evening. As I said, if they go off track or they start talking about their divorce or something else, you can just gently bring the conversation back onto the topic of the evening. The idea here is to build relationships with those that attend. If nothing else, you've remembered their name, you know their son's name maybe, or if they're married or not married, where they live, those kind of things. Those things really help to build relationships. Also, don't be afraid in the beginning and after the live series is finished for the evening, introduce them to someone else that's not at your table. Especially, one of the other leaders or myself or whoever is at the other tables. Connect with people where they're at. And what I mean here is, you're going to have mature Christians, not so mature Christians, non-Christians, and just meet those people where they're at. And a great tact here is to do more listening than talking as you ask questions, especially during the time before the session actually starts. It's amazing what you can do in terms of connecting with people before the session actually begins. So don't neglect that side of it. You do want to show love and respect to everyone, not just at your table, but everyone you come into contact with. And that's also why when we call for people to answer some of the questions, the big group time, where the MC will say, well, what did table 1 think, or what did table 2 think? We actually ask you, the facilitator, to be the person that actually speaks. And when you do so, show love and respect. Even if you don't agree with people, you can say, you don't have to give their names, but you can say someone at our table said this or that, and you just want to show that you respect them, even if you disagree with them personally. So the key ability, if there's nothing else that you remember from this video, the key ability is just be nice. And I know you already are. That's why I've asked you to be part of it. But no matter what you're going through in the day, you might have had a horrible day at work. You might have rushed to get here. You're hungry because you didn't have time to make some food. But remember, what we're doing here is this is gospel opportunities. We are the ambassadors of Christ. We want to be like Christ in everything we do. And we want to just leave our bad day at the door, if that is the case. If we've had a good day, sure, bring it in. But obviously, try and get there on time to pray, 7:15. Rather, we're starting at 7, so 7:15. It would be nice just to gather together and pray as a quick prayer just before people arrive. That way we can also just shed our bad day if we've had one, and get ready to be warm and inviting. So that's really the things that I wanted to talk about. There might be some questions that come up from this video. You'll see that along with this video, I've sent you the Art of Facilitation. Have a read through that. Also read through your booklets, but feel free to drop me a message or a voice note if you've got any questions, or chat to me at the live sessions. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you and serving with you in this wonderful ministry.